During my travels, and mostly by accident, I have witnessed some unique protests and very special celebrations. The first part of this video, I'll show a couple of the protests I was able to witness. First up, the Gilet Jaune, Yellow Vest protest in Paris, and then the Extinction Rebellion protest in downtown London. My afternoon started innocently enough. I was on a walking tour of the Montmartre district in Paris. We stopped for a great baguette, walked by the world-famous Moulin Rouge, passed by the Wallace Fountain, and then some street art. Only in Paris could you find beautiful graffiti like this. And then the bust, and I mean the bust, of the famous French singer and actress Dalia. We passed the cafe where Renoir depicted his most famous painting and then continued up the hill to our final destination, Sacré-Cœur. It was just after I took a picture of this famous Paris view that the Gilet Jaune caught my attention.
Quand on a peur, on fait n'importe quoi. On respire.
Police never gave me 1 second of attention. Later, I met some of the Gilet Jaune, and we had a very nice talk. Between their broken English and my broken French, We managed to communicate quite well. It was a fantastic afternoon. Having never been to London before, I was really looking forward to our visit. We arrived late in the evening, and the next morning, on our way to Westminster Abbey, we ran smack into day one of the Extinction Rebellion.
I'm going to squeeze through.
Okay.
Thank you. Do I have to go back? Oh, okay. Thank you.
I also happened upon the Brexit protest, and the Kurds were protesting in front of the Winston Churchill statue. Throw that in with the Extinction Rebellion, and I experienced the trifecta of London protests. The second part of my video contains two very unique celebrations that I was able to participate in. The first is Ramadan in central Cairo, and the second is a World War II celebration and remembrance of the French resistance. When I was planning my trip to Egypt, I was not sure about visiting the country during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. But my tour company in Cairo said, and I quote, "Please come during Ramadan. Everything is still open and it's even better." And I totally agree. I believe I've experienced Ramadan in Cairo in ways that very few Westerners have, and it was definitely better than I could ever have imagined. My tour guide Ahmed really took my experience to the next level. Not only did he take me into his family for 5 days, but he taught me a lot about Islam, Ramadan, fasting, and as a bonus, he's actually one of the funniest people I have ever known.
hours. You will see.
Okay. Oh, that goes over.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
My friends who were learning Arabic and working at a language center in Cairo at the time took me out for Ramadan dinner with their Egyptian friends. The Ramadan fast is broken at exactly sundown by eating a date. The restaurant was very quiet in anticipation, and once the fast was broken, exploded with laughter and food. Cairo is very festive during Ramadan. There were decorations everywhere. In the late afternoon, there's a huge rush of cars and people streaming through town to get to Ramadan dinner. Along the way, volunteers pass out dates and juice to help break the fast. That day, Ahmed asked me to fast to try to experience Ramadan like an Egyptian, even in a small way. Later that evening, Ahmed and his family took me to a park for Ramadan dinner.
I have
the dates right here.
Yeah, okay, bring it. Give it to them, Stephen. Yeah, give it to them.
Are you hungry? I'm so hungry.
I believe you. Are you very hungry, Steve? Is that right?
Yes. Are you?
Well, not as you. No, at all. Because I used to.
Yeah.
I'm fasting since 65 years.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well.
Even the little kids?
Oh yeah. 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. It's time. Ramadan Kareem يا ستيفن. فين ده ايه؟ Don't drink too much. Yeah.
I've never had this.
Steve, it's everything is nice, huh?
Do you do this a lot?
Yeah.
It was a great experience having dinner with Ahmed and his nieces and nephews in the park. For the first time in my life, I ate a pigeon, and it was really good. Later on, we went to the Khan Akalani Bazaar and hung out well into the evening.
What are they saying?
The call for prayer.
Oh.
وللرجال الذين يقولون ربنا أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالم أهلها واجعل لنا من لدنك وليا واجعل لنا من لدنك نصيرا.
دخلت جوه. I know.
والذين كفروا يقاتلون في سبيل الطاغوت فقاتلوا أولياء الشيطان
Islamic Cairo.
Ahmed, my Egyptian brother, thank you for everything. I shall see you soon, my friend. I took a ferry from Toulon, France to the island of Corsica. For my geography-challenged friends, Corsica is located in the Mediterranean Sea, showing here on this map. And the city of Ajaccio is the birthplace of one of my favorite historical figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. Through zero planning on my part, I happened to be in Ajaccio on September 9th, which is the anniversary of the French resistance overthrowing the Germans in World War II. After a long day, I was enjoying a beer in a cafe near the port when this happened.
C'est dans les heures les plus sombres, les plus oppressives de l'occupation que nos martyrs ont lutté, résisté pour un idéal de justice, de liberté et de fraternité. Veillons à ce que notre jeunesse fasse sienne des valeurs et qu'elle refuse de se laisser happer par la cupidité et la violence. En ce jour d'anniversaire, rendons hommage aux acteurs et aux actrices, la plupart aujourd'hui disparus, qui ont contribué à sauver et à conforter ces valeurs. Vive Ajaccio, première ville de France libérée. Vive la Corse, premier morceau de France libérée. Vive la République, vive la France.
Présidence de l'Assemblée de Corse.
On September 9th, 1943, the people of Ajaccio rose up against the Nazis and became the very first French city to be liberated from the German occupiers. General Charles de Gaulle traveled to Ajaccio a month later, and here are a few lines from his speech. In his own words, and I quote, "We owe it to the field of battle the lesson of the page of history that was written in French Corsica. Corsica, to her fortune and honor, is the first morsel of France to be liberated, which was done intentionally and willingly. In the light of its liberation, this demonstrates that these are the intentions and the will of a whole nation."